Hello everyone. Today, I want to tell you a crazy story. This story happened to me when I was 16 years old. I was 16 and I was playing volleyball. I was part of a volleyball team, and for our volleyball games, we had to ride on a bus. And the trips would take anywhere from an hour up to 5 hours. The bus rides were long because I lived in a state where you had to travel far to play games against other teams. Okay, on the bus one night, I was sitting, and I think I was reading a book, or maybe I was just sitting. I can't remember. But something crazy happened, and it changed the rest of our volleyball season. The crazy thing that happened was that I heard a lot of laughter coming from the back of the bus. I heard a lot of laughter. And when I looked back, I saw something that I never expected. Some of my teammates were naked. Some of my teammates, the girls on my volleyball team, were naked. And at first, I didn't know what was happening. I stayed very quiet. I didn't say anything. But I kept glancing back to try and figure out what was happening. Over the course of time, after a little while, I figured out that the girls were playing a game. The girls were playing a game where the loser had to strip. To strip means to take off, to take off a piece of clothing, just like this branch tried to do to my hat. To strip means to take off a piece of clothing. The game was that whenever a car passed us, whenever a car drove by the bus, you had to touch the top of the roof. You had to touch the roof of the bus. The last person to touch the roof of the bus lost, and they had to strip. They had to take off a piece of clothing. And some of the players had lost a lot. Some of the players had lost many times, so they had taken off a lot of clothing. The game was a stripping game. I didn't know what to do. I was just going to stay quiet and not say anything. But that changed. One of the coaches was walking towards the back of the bus. He was walking towards the back of the bus to ask all of the players, all of my teammates and I, which movie we wanted to watch. Our bus had TVs in it. Our bus had TVs, and you could watch movies. The coach was walking towards the back of the bus to ask us which movie we wanted to watch. But he stopped when he saw that some girls had clothing items removed. Some girls were partially naked. Some girls had just their shirts off. Some girls had their pants off. Some girls had their bras off. The crazy part is that one girl only had her underwear on. She was completely naked except for her underwear. That girl also happened to be the coach's daughter. We had two coaches. One was a male coach and one was a female coach. And the male coach was the coach that had walked to the back of the bus. But the female coach was the mom of the naked girl. The naked girl was the daughter of the female coach. The female coach was sitting in the front of the bus. When the male coach saw the naked girls, he walked back up to the front of the bus and he told the female coach. The bus driver, the man driving the bus, pulled over. He stopped the bus. He pulled the bus over to the side of the road. Everyone froze. The lights turned on. The lights had been turned off because it was nighttime. But now the coach turned on the lights. Everyone that is playing the game to the front of the bus now, said the coach. Everyone that is part of this game, come to the front of the bus now. And it was embarrassing for the girls playing the game because they had to walk naked up to the front of the bus. Some girls tried to grab their clothes, but the coach said, no, up to the front of the bus now. I think there were 6 girls that were playing the game. The girls walked to the front of the bus. The coach was very angry. She lectured the girls. She told them that they should not be playing a stripping game on a school trip, on a school bus. She said that there would be consequences. Because of their actions, there would be consequences. The rest of the bus ride was silent. I was very glad that I was not participating in the stripping game. In my opinion, that's just not a smart thing to do. But I understand. When you're young, you're immature, and they were just having fun. The punishment, the consequence for the girls playing the stripping game on the bus was that they weren't allowed to play volleyball for the rest of the season. They weren't allowed to play volleyball for the remaining 4 games of the year. The problem was that the girls playing the stripping game were some of our best volleyball players. They were some of the best players that we had on the team. And so, because they weren't allowed to play in any of the rest of the games, our team lost. our team lost to teams that we'd easily beaten before. After the girls playing the stripping game were forced to sit and watch and weren't allowed to play, I was the best player on the team. And I was only okay at volleyball. I was alright. And our team lost. But I was glad that there were consequences, because that's a weird thing to do. The girls weren't mad at me or anyone else on the team, but they were very mad at the coaches. They thought that this punishment was ridiculous. They thought that this consequence was way too harsh for just playing a game. What do you think? If you had been the coach, what would have you done? Would have you punished the girls? Or would you have let it slide? Would you have given them another chance? This story is so crazy. Sometimes I can't believe it happened. I hope you enjoyed my crazy story about the time some of my teammates played a stripping game on our high school volleyball bus. Remember, if you enjoyed these types of videos, you can find more videos just like this at EnglishSponge.com. On EnglishSponge.com, there are lots of videos to help you learn English at all different levels. Thanks for listening. I'll see you later. Bye.